right, how's everyone doing? Back at it, each one teach one. My name is Eson, also known as Pete Eson Keller. Today we have a special edition and we have a special guest. Don't feel, feel free to call in during the show. You can call in at 312-738-1060. The number's at the bottom of the screen, 738-1060. So today we have with us our special, one of our main writers, as we call it, the one and only T-Scene is in the house. And there have been some really good things that happened since last week, and we want to let you guys know about it. Today's edition, we're going to be talking about teen suicide. This is a very serious topic, but we want to have fun with it too, because it's some really good things that are here to enlighten the youth with, to let them know about, and to really bring some things to your mind if you're watching. So if you just happen to be blessed going by TV and you see us, we want you guys to know that you're not alone. T-Scene, how are you doing today?
I'm doing
Beautiful
all right.
queen.
How about yourself?
All right. So T-Scene, to give you a quick little ad lib on T-Scene, T-Scene's been with Ulon for a little while now. She is one of the hosts in one of our Ulon programs. She talks to women all the time, especially teens. Now, tell them something big just happened 4 days ago. There was an incident where a woman called the line, and we want you guys to know too, you women who are out there, if you have a cell phone, please, we're going to be saying the number through the show. It's 312. It's not the same number that you see on the bottom of the screen. It's 312-834-8020. A young woman called the line, right? And she was definitely suicidal. She had found her big brother's gun. She couldn't have been more than 15. And she was literally ready to end her life. Yes. And we kept her on the phone. We found out where she was at, and we unbeknownst to her. And if you're watching right now, you know who you are. But we are so glad we got you in time. Unbeknownst to her, we were making our way to her actual location. And T-Scene kept on talking to her, talked her out of it. Way to go, T-Scene! For about an hour and a half. We made our way to Inglewood, and we got the gun from her. Yes, praise the Lord. We got the gun from her. And we went ahead and did what we had to do and stopped her from actually taking herself out. So big kudos on that, T-Scene. I would like to go ahead and talk about some of the things that have been on my mind since then. One is that, thank the Lord that we were able to intervene in time. And it was another good thing that she had someone to talk to. So today's show is, of course, dedicated to those out there who feel that you're alone. And Ulon is here for you in any type of form or fashion. We're here for counseling. We're here for just a big brother type, big sister program. We have other people on hand who will sit up here and walk you through it. It's never that bad where you have to end your life. There is opportunities out there, and you have to know that you are not alone. So with that being said, T-Scene, you have been one, when we found you, you know what I'm saying, well, before you found us and we found each other, so to speak, had been familiar with the street life, the street culture. What do you think it is that we could tell these young girls right now who may be watching, and this is so prevalent because this literally just happened. So what is it that we could do about prevention? What can we tell these young sisters to derail them from actually taking their own life? And first of all, why do you think it's that serious? What has happened nowadays where these girls are out here really wanting to kill themselves?
Relationship issues might be one of the biggest problems now with the younger generation. Also, lack of self-esteem. I know a lot of females have a lot of lack of self-esteem and I see it all the time, every day. So that's one of the next major issues that might be other than that.
Okay. So when you say lack of self-esteem, what do you mean? What do you think some of the things that could have happened to give them a lack of self-esteem, so to speak?
Looks, trying to fit in, peer pressure, don't fit in with the crowd that they want to fit in with.
And so, like with this girl's, for instance, this young girl, we'll leave her name anonymous, and I know you were talking to her. What do you think that the style or getting high? Let's just throw it out there. We know these young girls get high, right? So, what is it about the getting high? Why do you think getting high becomes a big thing for them?
Just so they can get away from their problems. A lot of females that I talk to on a daily basis, when I talk to them, and most of them do smoke marijuana or whatever drug they tend to feel free to smoke, they tend to want to get away from their problems. It's just an escape door for them to be away from it just for that moment.
Okay. Again, feel free to call in to weigh in today. Today's issue is suicide. Teen suicide. You can call 312-738-1060. The number's at the bottom of the screen. Okay, so getting back to this issue, when you say peer pressure, I know there's a lot of girls, especially between the ages of 23, let's say, to 14. Everything's about posting up now. Everybody wants to post a video, of how they fought this. And so is the pressure in the arena of where, well, I have to show people that I'm wild? I have to show people what? What are we showing people?
Basically, I feel like it's just to get that type of, what they call in the streets, clout. Trying to make them feel superior, prideful, proud. And it's more of an issue of, let me go ahead and do this so that these type of people can look at me, whether it's negative or positive. It's more of a negative standpoint view, and that's where a lot of our females tend to
Kind of turn to?
Yeah, right.
Okay, well, you know what? I think you're onto something there. So, being that you have clout, right, makes you feel that you're in the in crowd, as we were just talking about?
Right.
Okay. Well, let's go ahead and get to these lines real quick because I know people, are calling in. Caller, you are on the air with Ulon. Each one teach one. Caller, are you there?
Yeah, I sure am. This is
All right.
Your favorite caller of all time.
Oh, yeah, I hear you. There go my guy.
Okay, listen. I was once told when I was a young kid, I'm 69 years old now, that all you have to do is tell the truth. And the truth comes from the heart. That's why I watch the program.
Yes.
About the kids killing each other. I want to kill themselves. Listen, when you're born, it's 50-50. But when you're growing up and nobody's showing you any love,
Right.
you go out and start having babies. The men don't want them anymore, so they figure they're not loved. They're always loved. They're God's children. If they would just say that they could beat anything, these young kids today.
Right.
But they don't. What they do is forget about the love that everybody wants them to have, and that's why a lot of these young girls are just walking out of the house, just running the street, and then they commit suicide. Please, young ladies, believe me, there's someone here that loves you. Believe that.
That's right.
So carry on, be strong, and the Lord will take care of you. But he can't take care of you if you commit suicide. All right, my friend.
All right.
All right.
Well, you know what? Yes. Thank you so much for calling in. That is one of our favorite callers, very religious to the show, loving to death, good person. You know what? He's got a point there. So, and it hurts my heart. I have to say this. It really does hurt my heart to see the young kids in the stage that they are. Each generation, has it a little bit worse. And I thought that, one of the things, and I hate to say this, but one of the things that helped us out in our generation was we had something that was new at the time, hip-hop. Right. People hadn't heard of it, it was new. And of course, the parents hated it. Oh, hip-hop is, what's this old rappy, rippy,
Right.
But one thing hip-hop did at the time with the 5 elements, you had breakdancing, you had, fashion, clothing, styles, speech. One thing that hip-hop did incorporate when hip-hop was real, at that point,
Right.
is that it stopped the violence. It was one time when you could actually be and go into any neighborhood in Chicago under the name of hip-hop, and breakdance and compete.
Right.
And literally, these kids don't have that now. There was still gangbanging. Don't get it wrong, but
Right.
there was if you were hip-hop, if you were at that moment, and me, of course, I'm East straddling the fence. I'm this, during night and this during the day. I'm hip hop, but I'm still, doing the gang banging thing, which of course we grew out of. But I mean, it makes us who we are today.
Right.
And that hip hop era, I can say, from 80, maybe 82 to like 87, maybe even 88, 89, was strong in Chicago. And Chicago really had good tigers, graffiti artists. It was a way of expression.
Right.
The kids were really able to express themselves through dance and through art. And I will say that as being one of the guys who had to struggle here, because Chicago's always been a house city, I had to go against the stations and try to get them to play hip hop and this and that, that it was one era during those years that really brought people together.
Right.
I'm talking about all the different type of gang cultures and everything. If we were there in the name of hip hop, we were all getting along. And what we did later was whatever, but during the name of hip hop, we got along, and that saved lives.
Right.
So, getting back again today, you guys, feel free to call in. I know the lines are blowing up. We'll get to some more calls, but please call in to weigh in about the teen suicide. T-Scene just intervened a young lady from committing suicide. And so for you young people out there listening, hear a little bit about, what she's been through. T-Scene, we welcome you to the show because we know that you've lived a life that was very hardcore.
Right.
And you didn't stop. What are some of the things that made you press on?
Well, number one, I've always grew up in a pretty much decent environment. I was never really close to my mom like that. I was more close to my father. But as I got older, and especially after my dad's passing, like I mentioned so many times before, it's like I grew closer to my mother, and I knew I had a sister. And with me not really knowing my biological mother growing up, it was like really hard for me because it was like I'm still trying to figure out who I am. But I got help. One thing is I had people, whether it was family or not, friends or not, I always had that outlook to go to, whether it be help from people with government affairs, like they have different places where you can go to if you do feel down, like you really want to hurt yourself or harm yourself. And they have a lot of other groups and activities like you can do to actually get the help that you need. And I think that's one of the good things about society now is that they have those type of groups to help young individuals with that.
Ulon being one of them.
Yes.
Of course, we got to throw that. We got to give a plug for Ulon because, let's keep it real. We were trying our best. I can't save everybody. We can't save everybody.
Right.
But those who we can, we want you guys to remember, call 312-834-8020. Again, this is for the young teens out there, especially right now who are going through it. So, moving right along, we're talking about some of the things that you went through personally, right? And so, what do you think for the kids that don't have any siblings? What should they do, or a mother figure? Because a lot of the mothers and the parents are on drugs, right? Like with the case with this young lady who we just intervened with, she was ready to blow her brains out. And this is for real. We can't sugarcoat it anymore. It's that serious. These kids are giving up on life. Again, if you are out there and you need help, we're here for you. We have your back. 312-834-8020. Please call. If a voicemail comes on, leave your name and number. We'll get right back with you. Okay? Very important, you guys. But so for the people and the guys too. It's just not the girls because I've intervened for a lot of guys. But for the young adults, if they don't have anybody, if the parents are on drugs and they don't have any brothers and sisters, or they're on the streets as well, selling drugs, gangbanging, whatever, what are some of the things you could tell them that don't have anybody? What can they do?
Well, like I said, there is programs out there where you can get help, and whether it be inpatient or outpatient, it's up to the individual. But I would say for them to at least go to the nearest place where they can, such as a hospital, any place like that, and actually go in there and help. They'll be willing to help you. They've helped me so many times. Like I said, I used to be a victim of suicide after I lost my best friend, which also committed suicide. And with me not being close to my mother and dealing with rape and abuse, so that was one thing, how I got my help. Somebody reached out to me. I had a counselor, a mentor at the school that I went to, and she was a blessing in my life. So I really do appreciate God for that.
All right. So also, and I don't know if you caught that, you mentioned the school. Can the schools help it out? Do they have somebody in the schools that they can talk to?
Well, yes, I think most of the schools now, I don't know how it was back then, but I know most of the schools now have counselors. They actually have counseling offices, which don't feel bad. I used to feel so bad. I had to put my pride down and go and actually I came in the office crying like, look, this is how I feel, this is what I want to do, and instantly from there, I never thought my teachers really felt a certain way about me, but when they let me know how much they really cared and really wanted me to actually continue my school and to be happy. They got me the help I needed. After that, I felt better, and I eventually was a testimony for somebody else.
Good point. Good point. Put your pride down. Now, for you that are watching, if you are in a position as such and you really are just tired of it all and you do want to give up, I will say this: if the counselors at your school are not helping you, please call us. 312-834-8020. 312-834-8020. Today we have the one and only T Scene with us, who's been there. She would definitely talk to you, for you females who just might need a female ear, someone to talk to, a big sister, or a little sister, depending on how old you are. Doesn't matter. Feel free to call us. For you guys out there, I'm here. We got other, Ulon participants who are willing to talk with you, kick it with you, meet up with you. That's the biggest thing. We will actually come to you, meet up with you, and let you know, man, we got your back. It's okay, man. We love you. I want y'all to know that, man. Sometimes you younger people just need to hear that. Like the caller called in and was saying that there's a lack of love out there, and we want you guys to know that we love you, man. I'm talking about for real, for real. That's why I do this. That's why we do this.
Right.
And that's why the Ulon staff does this. And I mean, this is what we see. So real quick, we'll go to some of our Ulon video. Feel free to, man, check it out. For you guys to know what's going on out here, we want to say that we're here for you no matter what. We are here, man, and we'll make it happen.
Tonight, all of the speakers have agreed that America has a very serious problem.
Man, I'm keeping it 100. I'm not playing any games. All these other chants about love and ice buckets, even Congress cinnamon. Chicago's the #1 murder capital in the world. So we're all here to support or to stop the violent movement in town. We're going hard for those that lost their lives, and the new generation. The shorty, come on, let's get it.
I'm taking in late night calls about this gunplay. I pulled up on the scene, kids with texts and AKs. Jump out the whip, dot bush, grab a shorty. Save his life, it's about him before me. Support me, never ignore me. Cause I sacrificed from Chicago to go. We losing lives last weekend. 9 killed and 30 wounded. And now live babies getting hit from the shoes. Come on, man. I ain't the one to sit back and settle. I'm an activist, a new renegade and rebel. I'm an outlaw for the people cause I care. Man, each one teach one and don't stop there. See, I see shorty's brains getting blown out like Play-Doh. I'm from the Greens, layer, or the lamp to the bank. But when I know what needs to get done to get it cracking, I'm a real man, need to get involved. Instead of packing, I'm smacking this beat. Cause the violence gotta stop. Cause sirens from the police are the new alarm clocks. And I see red and yellow tape through my hood. Little teddy bears, candles and cards. No good, wake up. I dare anybody to try this. We're self-destructive, we gotta stop the violence.
Rap, let's do have some real bars for the city. The past August was the worst death rate since 1997. Nearly 20 years. Where my spoken word artists at? Lay your lyrics. Singers, let me see you blow like never before. Dance, let's see you dance like never before. Dance for those that lost their lives. Respect.
Now there's a handful of go-getters.
All right, real quick, man. We just wanted to, let you guys know, especially young teens. Sometimes you have to reach the teens through music or whatever, that we out here, no matter how bad it is. As you watch some of that video, I put that together a little while ago, but the theme is from the original Self-Destruction with KRS-One, as I was talking about hip hop earlier. And I think the biggest thing about that is to say that though we go through all this in Chicago and it's real, we showed, actual parents who lost children, and they were out here in the coffins, and just to say, look, it's never that bad where you can't make it through. So today's topic again is teen suicide, and we want you guys to know we're here for you. So as I told you before, 312-834-8020 is a number you guys can call. Make sure you write that down or put in your cell phones. You teens out there right now who may just happen by God to watch this program, be going by TV, you may be in somebody's house. However, we're here for you, and we'll come to where you are. We'll actually come out there, big brother program, big sister program, and help you out. So let's talk about prevention. And so for you young teens out there, I want you to know we do love you. And that's why we're doing this. So don't give up. Don't ever feel like it's too much. Where I don't care if you've been raped, if you've been beat up, if you just feel like there's nowhere to turn, there's no love out there, man, come to Ulon. We got your back. We'll make a way for you no matter what. You know what I'm saying? Time, quality, whatever it is, we got you. So what are some of the things that these young teens, and for you, the women, the young girls out there, what were some of the things they can do to occupy something that can redirect their mind?
Go out, explore. So much stuff to do. Chicago has so many things that you can do. You can go out It's a lot of different water park, beautiful sceneries. One thing I learned from me, I'm a nature person, so one thing I love to do was garden. My next door neighbor, when I was younger, used to have a garden. I used to stay in her garden. It gave me so many plants and everything. I became one with my gardening. Another arts and crafts. I love art, drawing. You know, people express themselves through their drawings, music, songs, poetry. It's so many outlooks that you could turn to.
Spoken word in the house.
Yes.
Okay. You know, I know about that. Love my spoken word crowd. And I love my seashell crowd too. So my seashell crowd, wherever you are, man, I ain't seen you in a while. My boy Mo, you know what I'm saying? Zuzu, Jatan, my boy Dion, all y'all, man. I love all y'all. My boy Tone, my guys in the back, you know what I'm saying? We got my chefs in the back, you know what I'm saying? My boy Fred, you know what I'm saying? Sean Izzo, you know, everybody else is over there, KC. You know, all my people at, man, Seashell, we love you guys. But I want to say this. For those who just, you know, right now have decided to change their lives, right? So say, for instance, you call this hotline, 312-834-8020, and you leave your information. Don't be surprised if we call you, okay? Because that's what we're going to do. But I'm saying once they do change their lives, what are some of the things that, like, say, for instance, what can they eventually do in a position to help somebody else out once they change their lives? Once they see that, you know what, I don't want to give up. Do you think they even really want to give up?
No, I just think for the moment they might feel like they want to give up.
That's a good way to look at it. For the moment.
Yeah.
For the moment. You know. Again, T Scene has lived this life. You know, what are some of the things that help you get through it at that moment?
Well, I started back going to church. That's one of my things that I did. Reading the Bible always calmed me down too. That was one of my outlooks that I always turned to.
Okay.
Even when I felt like, you know, he wasn't listening, but at the end of the day, I felt like that was one of the biggest things that kept me here. Talking to my mother, putting my pride down, talking to my mother. That was one of the biggest steps I had to take, first and foremost, and it hurt me so bad to even tell her how I was feeling because she's the one that actually helped me get to where I was at. So.
Okay, well, those are really good pointers and viewpoints for somebody who's lived through it. Again, today's show is dedicated to teen suicide. It was a real thing. T. Singh just talked a young woman out of really literally ending her life. And I know that there's someone else out there that's watching this, a guy, girl, even an older person. If you're out there, we want you to know you can call us and we'll do all we can, you know, to give you the encouragement and to give you the love and support that you need. I think it's all about support too. You know, there's a lot of times, I mean, even once you get into these positions where, I mean, I'm running an organization and you know all the stuff that I do, you know what I'm saying? And I will admit, there are times, I mean, it's hard, it's trying, you know, you feel like I can do so much for other people and still not get the love in return. And I had to get used to that a long time ago.
Yeah.
You know, that even when you do as much as you can and give as much as you can, people are takers nowadays. There's a lot of takers. So there's times when you feel unappreciated. So I can imagine how it would feel to somebody who really just doesn't have anything at all because they feel like, well, what's the reason for me to live?
Right.
And I will say this, you guys, we're all here for a design. There's a purpose for each one of us. I will tell you that there's a purpose for each one of us, and it took me, you know, saying many years to really understand. I mean, really to get it. And if you don't get that, I can talk to you about it one-on-one and explain the purpose. Okay? So feel free to call 312-834-8020. Again, 312-834-8020. We've also opened up a house. It's called Spirit. It's a Ulon, you know, endeavor. It is for women from the ages of 18 through 50. If you need a place, I need you to please call this number. We're taking women who may have been homeless. And when I say homeless, again, it doesn't mean under the viaduct, though we take those too. But if you're bouncing from place to place, and right now you don't have your kids with you, you can call us at 312-834-8020. We'll make a way and try to find you an employment. For guys, we're working on that as well. I just want to tell you guys, man, it's been a pleasure really to see you guys on the streets and to meet you, and that wherever I go, someone recognizes us and they always stop us and give us encouragement and love, because it's not easy to do this, you know. We don't get paid for this, and we do it because, man, we need more people. So if you're a soldier out there and you want to become part of the Ulon movement, give me a call as well, 312 834-8020. There's enough for everybody. I want you just to kind of, you know what I'm saying, close out a little bit with maybe an experience or two you've had growing up when you just thought it was the end. You know, maybe it was a thing that happened in school or something that happened at home and you felt so bad you just wanted to just end it all. Maybe one of these young women can relate.
Well, one of my experiences that I've had growing up, which was about back in 2009 to 2012, I've always was an outcast. I can say I didn't fit in with everybody at school. I was known as the quiet girl that always wore the dresses. They used to call me like the church girl. Oh, there goes the holy moly girl. Right there, you feel what I'm saying? All because of how I dressed and how I carried myself. I didn't tend to too much try to fit in the cliques. There were certain people that I can click with, which they considered the lames, you know, back in those days. And it was like, it hurt me because it was like I didn't really feel like I belonged at home, and then to come to school and feel like you don't belong, it's like I just wanted that friend, those friends that I can call my friends and fit in with. I just want to fit in instead of being an outcast. And eventually I did fit in to a certain crowd, which was not really a bad crowd, I can say, but it wasn't a good crowd either. And I can say with me getting into that crowd, it was a certain person that I kind of took a liking on, but they turned me down at that time, and I done moved on or whatever. And eventually, like one day, I went through a very traumatic experience with being raped by a certain friend, a person that was supposed to be my friend. And after that, when I told my mom, it was like, when she looked at me, it's like she didn't believe me, and it was like she was blaming me for it. And that really hurt me too. So after that, you know, I met this female, and she turns out to be one of my bestest friends, and she ended up committing suicide because she wasn't close to her mother. No mother was telling her, I wish I never gave birth to you, stuff like that and that nature. And like, that was my best friend. That was really my only friend. And with losing her, it was like I lost a part of me. So yeah, that was one of my experiences I've had.
Well, you know what? That was really deep, and I really thank you for coming off your chest with that. You know, they hopefully can, you know, reach somebody out there. T-Scene really coming direct and live, you know what I'm saying, with something from the heart, you know, and I appreciate that, you know what I'm saying, Queen, I really do. So again, you females out there and my guys out there, man, if someone can go through something as traumatic, you know what I'm saying, as that, maybe something worse out there, I want you guys to know you're not alone. We're here. Today's topic is serious to the heart because I'm here for you guys, and I want you guys to know that. Don't give up. We got you. God got you. We all got you. Don't give up no matter what. Right now, stop what you're doing and get on your knees and pray. It's always going to get better. Do not give up, okay? So again, 312-834-8020. You guys should know that by heart. Now put in your cell phones, write it down. We want you guys to call us up. Call whenever you're ready. 312-834-8020. I'm going to close out, you know what I'm saying, basically was saying that you matter. No matter what, you matter. If you're watching this right now, even if you're not ready to commit suicide, but you're feeling down, you matter. And we got your back. I know I do. You do?
Yes.
Okay, we got your back. And there's a lot of other people over here with Ulon that got your back. United Legion, One Nation. That's what Ulon stands for. We're all as one. We're all connected. Everybody on this planet is connected in some type of form or fashion. I need you guys to understand that, okay? Through a higher power and whatever you want to call it. All right? We love you guys. And again, remember, each one teach one, and don't stop there. Remember, 312-834-8020. This is one serious show. Next week, we're going to have Off the Chain show as always, but we wanted to stop everything today to tell you we love you, and we're here for you. Each one teach one, and don't stop there. Holla.